Hi, I'm Derek Landy. Welcome to Forbidden Planet TV.
Welcome to Forbidden Planet TV. I'm Andrew Sumner, and I am privileged to be joined by highly successful author and fellow hardcore comic book fan, Derek Landy. How you doing, mate?
Hello there. I am good.
Mate, it is great to see you again, and particularly good to see you because we're talking about what I think actually might be the 15th Skulduggery Pleasant book.
Yeah.
Until the end.
15th book in 15 years. And actually, it's the 15th book in the series, but there is one spin-off and one collection of short stories. So that's 17 books in 15 years. And then you have 3 Demon Road books that aren't part of this series. So that's 20 books in 15 years that I have written.
The last time you were on, we were talking about the grimoire, right? And it's just such an incredible piece of work, mate.
And the grimoire.
Yeah.
21 books.
21 books. Yeah. I mean, just what at this point that you're at, looking back on this huge estate of work that you've done, what's your kind of emotional relationship with it?
It's when I first started, and I told my publishers how many books there would be in this series. I said 9 because that was the original plan. But I always kind of had it in my head that, okay, I'm going to get really bored by book 4 of this world and these characters. So I'm probably going to need a break. But then I got to book 4 and I was still having a great time. And I got to book 9 and I was still having a fantastic time. Then I came back 2 years later with what is now phase 2. And I never thought my attention span could deal with it apart from anything else, apart from my enthusiasm. But no, I'm writing, I wrote book 15 with as much enthusiasm as I wrote book 1. And it's really, it took me, and it is still taking me by surprise. And probably a major part of why I'm still enjoying it is because when Skulduggery arrived and I saw him and I knew who he was and how he sounded, I knew he was probably going to be the best character I would ever create, as in the most iconic, the most easily identifiable, the most singular. And so I owed it to him to pack this series of books with all of my best ideas. So all of the ideas that I'd had for other books and screenplays and comics and short stories, I piled into the Skulduggery books. And it's because of that I can write book 15, because it's still, these are the books that I would want to write in whatever genre, and I just get to write about them in this one series. So it still takes me by surprise.
I mean, that's wonderful to have that relationship with your body of work like that.
Yeah.
Now that, I mean, not everybody gets that privilege in a way.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to write such a long running series as this. First of all, you have to take into account the privilege and the rare privilege of finding an audience who want to spend as much time with these characters as they have. But what that allows me to do as a writer is to not only explore everything that I wanted to explore in my initial idea and my initial pitch and my initial plan, but also to to see the books evolve story-wise, character-wise, but also in terms of scope. So the thing that keeps me going now, if I needed something apart from the characters, the thing that keeps me going is an ever increasing sense of ambition. You know, I got to the end of phase 1, and I'd done exactly what I wanted to do. And then when I embarked on phase 2, my ambition leapt up a notch. So yeah, it's quite a thrill to be able to play in this area and play with these ambitions, and yet still be dealing with a world and a universe and characters that I've already established, so I don't have to work to establish a new set each time. I can just change my style of storytelling to incorporate whatever genre I want to focus on in any particular book. So it's quite a thrill.
I mean, your work often reminds me of that quote, which is, it's falsely attributed to Winston Churchill, and you find out loads of Athena posters and whatnot, which is, you build your own universe around you if you go, right? And by the way, if you look at where that quote originally comes from, it's actually Winston Churchill saying, I know a lot of people who think you build your own universe around you as you go, but it's a load of bollocks. That's not true. that is the brilliance of that. But
Wow.
in fact, that is that, and you know, it's in one of his early pre-World War II biographies. He just says that. But of course, people have just taken the quote and used that forever, and now he must be laughing about that somewhere, you know, wherever he is. But for you, I think that's very true. That's absolutely what you've done, and not just in terms of your own literary world that you've created, your own world of adventure and intrigue, but the opportunities that you know, being the creator of Skulduggery Pleasant and that universe has given you. You know, we're talking off camera about our, you know, mutual love of comic books, but it's accessed this much bigger world for you as well, which that must be so great.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to see something have such an effect on an audience, and to have that audience, that readership, stay like loyal to Skulduggery, it's just affected my life in practically every way, and it has changed my life in practically every way. Not just in terms of, you know, I was able to, you know, stop working on the family farm. I was able to move into my own place, and I suddenly had a job and a career, and I wasn't the kid that my parents had to worry about. You know, I was
Yeah.
never the best student in school. I was always smart, but unfocused. I couldn't, and I didn't want to. I had no interest in anything that I didn't absolutely love. So in school, it was always like English and art. Um, so I was the one child that my parents had that, you know, okay, he isn't really working hard. He's not studying. He's not, you know, he got kicked out of art college, and he's, you know, he's full of dreams. But the dreams, you know, the problem with dreams is that they're dreams and they don't actually go anywhere until they actually do. So now I'm the golden child. I am the one. I am their absolute favorite.
Yeah.
And it's all to do with Skulduggery. And so he has affected my life in so many ways, and he has opened up so many opportunities for me to play in other arenas. So it's because of Skulduggery that you know, the comics things happened.
Yeah.
It's because of Skulduggery that when I go into like film meetings, I'm not just another writer, you know, I'm not
Yeah.
just another screenwriter, I'm a novelist. And
Yeah.
in the movie world, you know, executives love novelists because they think they're a higher form. You're like, oh wow, you write books, and
Yeah.
what's that like? You know, so it's you are suddenly a different person. And that's what skullduggery has afforded me. It has changed absolutely everything, and it's made me a different person. You know, skullduggery has made me a far more confident person than I used to be, far more assured, um, because hello, cat. Because now I don't have to prove myself to anyone.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Yes. You know, I used to have a recurring dream about uh, being back in school, and you know, surrounded by my old friends and teachers, and trying to justify myself, and I'm not a failure, I'm not a screw up, I'm not this or that. And then after skullduggery happens, those dreams went away. Yeah, I yeah, these
That
books
it
have
is, it is wonderful, mate. And Derek, before we go, what can you tell me specifically about volume 15, about Until the End?
What I can say about Until the End is the ambition that I had for phase one has been like tripled for phase two. Um, it really it's I've been submerging myself in comics
Yeah.
over lockdown, and actually, you know, that kind of idea, that kind of thinking, you know, you can have street level comics and then you can suddenly explode and you are at a cosmic level. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted as these last 3 years. um when I've been coming up, I said, okay, I've got 3 books left in my plan. And so as I was, you know, adapting my plots to the usual changes that happen as you write, your original plot always changes. But as I was adapting, I was immersed in a cosmic comics, and so I that infiltrated the books, and then they just exploded outwards. So you've got I've suddenly got all of these new ideas, all of these new themes, all of these new characters and possibilities, that uh, when I originally came up with them, they were a lot simpler and a lot more straightforward. But after 15 books, even your simple ideas have to evolve. So everything has evolved, and now, you know, the end is approaching, and yeah, and yeah. So I'm giving you absolutely nothing.
I love it,
No,
mate. I love it. I love the intrigue and the mystery.
there you go.
But it's been a great conversation, Derek, and everything you've been talking about. You Until the End can be ordered from the links attached to this conversation, but so can a whole range of Skullduggery Pleasant books that you very kindly signed for us, and they're all available here. And it is always great to talk to you, brother. And I'd love it if you could come back in the near future and have a chat with me about your comics work.
Oh, I'd love to.
Brilliant. You take care, brother. I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.